poetry and prose from Sutzkever's memoir, interpreted by me and called Stumbling Towards Salvation. In the snowed under village of my childhood in Siberia stand countless quicksilver blossoms. June 22nd, 1941. The German army crosses the border into Lithuania next to the Green Bridge, not far from my mother's apartment. I run. She is relieved to see me and offers sorrel soup with a dollop of sour cream. Mom, we must save ourselves. We must go. I begin to raise my voice and my hands follow. She strokes my hair and kisses my forehead. I am not going anywhere. But you are my life. Save yourself. Run. Why is the river between us without a bridge? Forest roots grind their teeth deep in the ground. We sleep in the forest and wash ourselves in the Vilenki River. My wife kisses each page of her diary as she feeds it to the river. A piano, as if shot down, was floating by. That piano is sunset with a black bent wing that was really a coffin. My fate facing me. The river overran its banks. Later, the river drowns itself. The Hapunis, the Jew snatchers, swarm city and countryside, hunting us, smoking us out of our wallpapered over sealed apartments. A poet cuts apart words, conjures, and sends them back to their source. Our worlds are as small as a 10 by 10 centimeter patch worn on the chest or back, not yellow, not worn on the back, but rather a blue armband with a white star of David. Are you following? Gather me from the ledge of time. Nest in me like letters from a burning siddur. Once upon a time, only thieves hid in Molinas, a makeshift hideout built at night in a cave, a sewer, a garbage dump, under a roof. Mine is under the eaves. Why is the earth full of caves, crevices, and craters, where there's no living thing, and there is no place where fewer than 3 human beings can hide? We were rounded up from our homes and our hiding places, from the asylum and the hospital, like the walking dead. Once inside the ghetto, a mad dash begins to the empty apartments where meat is cured in a pot on a chair, a knife is sticking out of a loaf of bread, a tea bag is cooling in a mug of water. My mother prepares for Yom Kippur in the other ghetto. I have never really noticed her gray hair before, nor the dark dress she wears that sets it off. Until then, her hair seemed to shine like a twinkling crown. She tells me, go home. It is safer there, because here are old people and children. I hear strains of Kol Nidre as I walk away. It follows that while my mother lived, I lived as a result. In the winter, her shawl became a meadow where cold stars warmed my bones. Who to this day remembers my mother, her shawl? May they live to become younger. I see a cart of shoes. There I see my mother's Shabbos slippers. A bonfire blows the night apart in the forest. Young trees turn gray from terror. Honar, once a resort town, now a killing place. Schluf mein Vögelein, mach zu deine Gillen, schlaf mein Kind, schlaf, sings my sister to her 2-year-old son as she nurses him, standing naked and shivering on the edge of the pit. I hear them fire. I fall. My sister falls. I lose consciousness. I come to my senses at dawn, in bodies sprinkled with lime. I am alive. I climb out. I even find my own shirt, get dressed, pick up an old coat, and with nowhere to go, I return to the ghetto. In the ghetto, some lawyers turn chimney sweeps, called the black ones. They smuggle in rye flour, and if they get caught, they go straight to Ponar. I lie in a coffin. Call it a little ship on stormy waves. Call it a cradle. The day after my mother was murdered, a young director comes to pay his condolences. Yes, I tell him when he asks me to help establish a theater in the ghetto. Bialik, Gordon, Peretz, Shalom Aleicham's Tevye, the dairyman, is in rehearsal, but never reaches performance as the actors keep being murdered. Who will last? What will last? The dead love to hear my poems, so I read them. How many musicians does it take to smuggle a piano into the ghetto? The musicians work as slave laborers in town and come upon a piano in an abandoned Jewish apartment. Each musician is responsible for smuggling one piece, and once back in the ghetto, a specialist rebuilds the entire instrument. The chamber orchestra plays Franz Schubert's unfinished symphony. So appropriate. In Vilna, I dream of Jerusalem. In Jerusalem, I dream of Vilna. How many paintings does it take to hide a machine gun? I collect and catalog cultural treasures from Vilna's museums and libraries. This is my work. But I also need to defend myself. We have automatic Belgian pistols and 1,000 bullets, but we need a machine gun. The partisan organization helps us find one. The gun will be carefully and purposefully stored in the art storage room. The barrel I hide under a portrait of a young Esther Roch-Kaminska, mother of the Yiddish theater. Another piece behind a Marc Chagall drawing. And a third piece underneath a famous tableau of refugees that came from the Ansky Museum. The machine gun's automatic loader is covered with the Bible. The Germans arrive in the building and only want to see the art. I fly back there yelling, "Pardon me, pardon me." Who is this crazy Jew? A tall German, like an upright serpent, lisped. My head was about to explode. He was heading for Kaminska. A second was inching toward Chagall. I'm waving my hands. My face is dripping with sweat. Who is this crazy Jew spinning through the room like a demon? And the upright serpent turns to his comrades and says, "Let us get out of this insane asylum." And they march out. Days before liquidation of the ghetto, I escape with my wife to the forest. We join a group of Jewish partisans. Words are my anchor. I write with the wind. A Benedictine convent stands on the road between Vilna and Vileki. The Mother Superior is a socialist, the college degree. She hid Abba Kovner, one of the founders of the Jewish partisan organization, and others whom she would dress in habits when necessary. I lie in hay, a wanderer, until I myself become the haystack. Hirsch Glick escapes the ghetto to be captured and sent to his death in Estonia. His song fills the forest, shakes the leaves, and marches on, known as the Partisan League. Sag mich einmal, als du gehst dem letzten Weg, wat schimmeln bleien, ne verstellen bleuer Tag, weil kommen wird noch unser ausgebänkte Schau, es wird apoit und unser Trott, wir senden da. The time we've longed for will at last draw near, and our steps as drums will sound that we are here. We are here in Nuremberg. We are staying in the Grand Hotel, one of its wings. Off, the front was torn off by a bomb. Fitting. Nuremberg, the place from where the order went out to exterminate the Jewish people, now hosts a trial of these criminals. I want to take a gun into the courtroom. February 1946. I stand to give my testimony out of respect, like I would say Kaddish. Unfortunately, I had to speak in Russian rather than Yiddish. This was a deep disappointment. From your mouth, let Yiddish sound, pure and clear as the ghost of a slaughtered child. 2 nights before I am to testify, I cannot shut my eyes. I see my mother running naked over a snow-covered field. Warm blood, the bullet wound that pierced her heart, trickles onto the rug of my room and encircles me like a ring. I am walked into the courtroom by the marshal. I see the devils in their cages, and my fear evaporates. I am their accuser and their conqueror. With poems turned to powder and loaded to my gun, I know this: I am a wolf and a poet in one, and I release from my gun poem after poem. I write more in the ghetto than I will write the rest of my life.